So this video is going to be about the one and only panic attack I had as a result from smoking weed, or because smoking weed. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a song. You know what, fuck the music. Whatever. Alright, so the panic attack. So one of my earlier videos, I briefly talked about how this isn't the first time that I've taken a break. I've taken multiple breaks before, and the longest break before now, actually, which I just realized, the longest break that I had before the one I'm on now was in January. It was over my winter break. I had been good for 2 weeks, and I actually had just gotten in trouble. I'm not going to say by who or with who, but just know that I was in pretty deep shit. And, you know, like, I had to stop because this problem that I had, this trouble that I got myself into was, it could be catastrophic if I didn't take care of myself. So I'm making it 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks I got into this mindset that, I feel great, I feel fresh, I'm having the greatest dreams ever. And that kind of gave me this false sensation that it would be alright to keep smoking weed, or to try it again. And I had a feeling like I didn't think that it gave me the right to do it again. I just, I wanted to smoke. I like smoking. And so I decided to, and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday, or 12. I think it was 12. No, it was like 2 o'clock, and I was planning to go home at 5:30 that day from school, and my friends called me and they're like, "You want to go get food?" And I was like, "Alright." So I go to the room, my friend's packing a bowl, and I decided, you know what, I'm not even going to take one huge hit. I'm just going to take 3 small hits, get a little buzz, and then go eat. And I probably won't even be high by the time my parents pick me up. So we go outside on the lawn to smoke, and I take 2 hits. I take one pretty small hit, but I hold it in for a good amount of time. A little time goes by, I take another, hold it in, and I'm feeling alright. And I want to be careful because I know sometimes I'm a pretty lightweight when it comes to these things. And I knew it might just hit me suddenly. So I decided that I'd take one more and I'd be done. And the 3rd hit comes, and I didn't take any hit bigger than the rest, but I hold it in as long as I can. And I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but sometimes when I take a good hit, it kind of like, I get like this click in my brain, and like you just start to cough, and you're just like, oh fuck, that's gonna fuck me up. And I got a little nervous because when you cough and cough and cough, it just sucks, the feeling. But we're done. Finished smoking the bowl. Me and my friends start walking towards. We gotta walk up for campus. So we gotta walk around. It takes about 5 minutes to get to the cafe. And it's January, but it was starting to warm up. It was probably around 40 something degrees. It was a little chilly. And we're walking, and I feel like normal high. And we get inside. We finally, after 5 minutes, we get inside the coffee shop, and we sit down. And I notice that my legs are shaking, and I'm just thinking to myself, "Damn, was it that cold outside?" And I keep looking around, And remember, like, I had a feeling that I shouldn't smoke. You know, I had held a 2 week streak. So I think this started to create, not that I felt any worse, but I thought it, in the back of my head, it created this extra self awareness. And I'm like looking around the restaurant. I just like keep noticing the same people that are sitting next to me. Like, it's all good. But then I look across at my friend, and my legs are shaking, and everything is like super HD. Like, the back of the wall is like this brown, but it's almost gold, and it's just pulsating. And my friend's like, if it's like my friend's like 10 feet in front of the wall, and it's just like super clear. And I'm just saying to myself, holy shit, I'm the most stoned I've ever been in my life. And I just like couldn't keep my mind focused. I just, like, every time I try to think of something, I'd forget it, and I tried to think of it, but I couldn't. So my mind just kept running in circles, and I just felt sick, and I had to like keep my head down. I tried to go into the bathroom, and I think I actually tried to puke, and nothing came up. So I just washed my face off. I looked at myself in the mirror. Now, I don't know if you ever look at yourself in the mirror when you're high, but it's like it's not looking at yourself. It's kind of a depressing thing. Now, when you're drunk and you look at yourself in the mirror, that's pretty funny. But when you're high, it's like you're looking at someone that you've never seen before. So anyway, I come back, I sit down. We had ordered already, and I'm like, do I even want to eat? I just got to keep my head down. I have like a headache now. I'm thinking, holy shit, the weed I just smoked is laced. But I don't know. I just felt so bad. My heart, I felt like I tried to feel my heartbeat, and it was beating so fast it's like it wasn't even beating at all. And I started to get really nervous. And my friends kept asking me questions, and I was just like, I didn't answer really. And they knew that I was really stoned. But to myself, I actually felt like I was like slowly dying. So eventually we finished eating, and it was kind of painful to eat my sandwich. But I remember saying, like, can we get the check? And my friends were like, calm down. I think they knew something was up with me. So we go up, and we can pay separately. I guess it's pay separately at the counter. And I remember taking out like $6 or whatever, which was like $3 more than I had to pay for my sandwich. And I'm like, yeah, my friend, just pay for me. And I just gave him the money and walked out. And I sat outside on the bench, took a few deep breaths. They eventually come out. They're like, oh, we were looking for you. I'm like, I'm fucking outside. So we walk back onto campus, and we have like this giant sculpture of this giant head, this lady's head. And we walk by it, and I remember looking at it, and I just like, I couldn't stare at it. I had to look back down. I just felt awful. Eventually, we were almost back at the dorm. My friends said they wanted to go look at something, and I was just like, go on, I gotta go back to the fucking room. And I just started walking away. Now, this is where it gets really scary for me, because I get back in my room, and I'm lying down in my bed, and like, I feel like my body, like my soul's melting out of my body, and I just was not straight. I was just feeling so, I've never felt this way before. So I turn on the TV, Balls of Fury is on, and for about 20 minutes it actually helps, you know, it keeps my attention. It's actually kind of funny, even though it's like a shitty movie. But it starts to like get annoying, so I have to turn it off. And I'm like, alright, I'll sleep it off, and I start to doze off. And about like every 10 minutes, I just jolt up suddenly, open my eyes, and I felt like everything inside of me was slowly creeping back up into my body. And this happened twice, and I just like got the chills, and I was saying to myself, holy shit, if I fall asleep, I'm gonna die. That's how it felt. I was about to die. If I fell asleep, I would not wake up. So I was like, oh shit, holy shit. And then I fucking realized that my parents were coming to pick me up at 5:30. And right now it's about like 4:30, and I'm just like, Oh my god. Holy shit. So I text my parents. I'm like, you gotta come at 7:30. I forgot that I'm supposed to go to this nude modeling class at 6:30. They're like, alright. Oh my god. I felt like shit. My heart was beating. I had the worst headache. Eventually I took Advil and I fell asleep at my desk until like 7:15 when my parents called me. I just packed whatever I could see and I just went. I remember I texted my mom beforehand saying that I think, quote unquote, I must have ate a bad burger. I feel really sick right now. Shit. And I think my parents did know what was up. Luckily, I was fine by later that day. But the next day, I was trying to figure out if the weed had been laced. Why didn't my friends, why weren't my friends feeling the same way? So I came to the conclusion that I might have had a panic attack, and I looked it up. I mean, I had chills, awful headache. I felt very anxious, and I was, like I said, I felt like I was almost dying. I couldn't keep focus. My heartbeat was so fucking fast. I play sports and stuff, and my heart has never beat this fast before. And this was legit the scariest moment of my life. The scariest, without a doubt. I don't know, that kind of... I figured that it was triggered because I knew that I didn't want to smoke in the first place. I'd had this break. And that coupled in with the parents picking me up, the trouble that I had just recently got in. And since that day, I promised myself I would stop. I did continue to smoke a few days. I didn't smoke for like a few days after that. But then I did again and I felt alright. But then I started to realize that, it's just not worth it. And, March came about around like the 1st of March, end of February, and now it's been 15 days or 19 days. So it feels pretty good. I'm happy where I am right now. I'm sure people want to know, will I smoke again? I can't say that I won't because, it's not like I can just... I'm going to do my best to not to, but I want to make it to at least the end of the school year. And by then I'll upload like a 2-month video. That'll be sometime in May. Drinking wise, yeah, I still drink. I like to drink. But, you have to be careful with that. You want to make sure that the alcohol doesn't become a substitute for the marijuana. Alright, that's it. Thanks a lot, guys.